Let's read.
Bear loved books. Every day, Bear sat at the edge of the woods and listened to a girl read. The girl, whose name was Ellen, loved to read. Bear loved to listen. Ellen read scary books, exciting books, funny books. Bear and Ellen loved them all. One afternoon, sitting under the fair-fit tree, Bear said, "I want a book of my own, a book the color of ripe red raspberries and delicious to read. Where do you find your books?" "At school," said Ellen. "Bears aren't allowed. Tomorrow I'll bring you a new book." "But," said Bear, "I want to pick one for myself." Said Ellen, "then we'll need a plan, and I know just the thing." The next morning, Ellen and a furry superhero walked to school. They tiptoed into the back of Ellen's classroom. "I've never seen so many books," Bear whispered. Bear rushed toward a bookshelf. He reached for a book the color of ripe red raspberries, but the teacher turned around. She pointed and screamed, "A bear! A bear! A bear at our school!" Bear raced back to the woods with a cape, but no book. After school, Ellen found Bear by their favorite tree. "I'm sorry our plan didn't work," she said. "But," said Bear, "I still want a book, and I want to pick it all out for myself. Where else can I find a book?" "The library," said Ellen, "but bears aren't allowed." "Don't worry," said Bear. "I have a plan." Ellen and a blueberry bush walked into the library. "The library has even more books than your classroom," Bear whispered. "Rows and rows of books." First the librarian saw Ellen, then the bush, then the bear, and the librarian shrieked, "A bear! A bear in our library!" Bear and Ellen raced back to the woods with blueberries, but no book. "But," said Bear, "I still want a book, and I want to pick it out for myself. Where else can I find a book?" "The bookstore," said Ellen. "The bears aren't allowed." "Maybe I need a different disguise." "I know just the thing," said Ellen. Ellen and a furry giant wearing a coat and hat and umbrella tiptoed into the bookstore. "So many books," Bear whispered. "There must be a book for me." Then the bear saw just what he wanted, a book the color of ripe red raspberries. He rushed for the book, but he didn't see the ladder or the clerk. The clerk, the ladder, and the furry giant wearing a coat and hat and an umbrella crashed onto the floor. The clerk yelled, "A bear in the bookstore!" Bear and Ellen raced back to the woods with a broken umbrella and no book. "How will I ever find a book on my own?" said Bear. "Don't worry," said Ellen. "We'll think of something." Bear scratched his back on the tree and thought. Ellen scratched the top of her head and thought. Suddenly Bear said, "Can we make a book?" Ellen smiled. "I'll be right back." She returned with paper and markers of every color, including red. "What do you want your book to be about?" Ellen asked. "I know just the thing," Bear whispered his idea to Ellen. "A perfect plan," she said. So she wrote and wrote. Bear and Ellen drew picture after picture, and when they finished, Bear smiled. "Will you read my book to me?" It says, "A book for Bear." "Of course," Ellen said. Ellen opened the book and read, "Bear loved books." That is cute.
Yeah, it is.